Namaste, Namaskaram. Namaskaram. Very glad to interview. It's a great honor and privilege. So we have Siva Prasad sir, Nedumpalli Siva Prasad, who is a great singer, and we will get to know him together. I will be asking about his musical journey, and can you?
Namaskaram, it's my pleasure also.
So
Thank you.
I had been listening to your music and really impressed by the tonal quality and the style of singing. I would like to know more about your background, the basic learning process from the beginning. If you can share, thank you.
Yeah. So basically, our family, we all are musicians. My father used to sing for Kathakali, and my brothers also sings for Kathakali and Carnatic music also. So basically, we grown up with a background of music and temple art forms like Kathakali, Mohiniyattam, all that. We used to attend programs in the temple, and at home there used to be regular practice of Kathakali. So a lot of Kathakali musicians used to come, and we used to listen those days, childhood.
So that particular genre of music is known as Sopanam, right?
Yeah, we call it as Sopanam. And basically in our home, if anybody comes, generally everybody exchange music. Like at home, generally after reaching home, any guest or anybody comes. First thing my father asked them, why don't you sing some song?
Okay.
So the atmosphere is always with music and arts. And my basic training, I learned my basics from my father, Carnatic music basics, like Saptaswaram, Alankarams and some Geetams and all that. He used to learn all this. He was the disciple of great Kathakali musician called Kalamandalam Nilakanthan Nambishan.
I see.
So years, those days he was the famous Kathakali singer. So father wanted to become professional as singer, but unfortunately that time, those days, the joint family responsibilities, he couldn't make it himself as a professional musician. So he wished that at least his children can make it. So he wished. Then basics he taught. Then he appointed as a guru K.M. Krishnan Nambudri. He was a diploma holder from Chennai Music Academy. He used to come regularly to teach us music. So me and my brothers, we all used to sit and learn from those days. Very young age. Like we would be like I would be in my school like second standard or third standard, like
Okay.
such a small age. Those days, whatever he teaches, we learn. But that basic which he taught us was very helpful and successful. Especially like in Carnatic music we say Shruti, perfect Shruti, matching Shruti and Swarasthanam. This was very particular for him. Kalpita Sangeetam we say, it was very particularly, he was very particular about all that. So that was a good training we got. That's why the basic is very good for us.
Yeah, very glad to hear about that. And you were also mentioning many other musicians and artists, Kathakali artists who visited. Can you mention a few names that you remember?
All those days, like big Kathakali artists like Raman Gutti Nair, Nilakanthan Nambishan used to come, and his disciple one Sri Kumaran sir also used to come. He used to teach us little basics of Kathakali music also. And those days Kathakali singing is not like a sit and taught kind of teaching. You have to go to your guru, whatever he sings you have to accompany, you have to sing, and he may ask you to go to the stage and put talam and accompany him. And you are not supposed to say no, or even in the class like called Kalari. So if you are there sitting, you have to just accompany whoever
Kalari
sings.
is not the martial arts Kalari,
Not
right?
martial art Kalari. Is in Kathakali, also they call it as Kalari.
Mm.
So most of the Kathakali singers, they trained singing in the Kalari. It's must.
Mm.
So being a boy, I don't know the technicality and all that. I used to accompany them, like whatever I know, like that. That was the basic. We used to enjoy all those days, all these things. As a childhood, we thought this is what children want to learn. This is what life. That is what our thinking was.
Wonderful, yeah. So, how do you distinguish between Sopana Sangeetam and Karnataka Sangeetam?
See, the Karnataka Sangeetam, it's a lineage came from great saints. As far as our knowledge is concerned, we call Purandara Dasa the father of Carnatic music, Karnataka Sangeetam. Because he defined such a syllabus that anybody can sing if you follow the same pattern. So there was a structural way of training, kind of syllabus, like you start from Saptaswaras. First you learn to match your Shadjam Panchamam to the Shruti. That is the first lesson. If you are successful, then only you can go ahead with Shruti. So if your Shadjam and Panchama Sa and Pa is matches, then you have to go to the further Saptaswaras. After Saptaswara, you have to go to Alankarams or Varishai. These are kind of basic alphabetical training in Carnatic music. And there is a structure. You go to small Geetams, small Lakshana Geetams, then sing with Talam, different kind of Talam, practice with Talam. And Carnatic music, you are the conductor of the Talam, so you have to put Talam and sing. Then you learn like kind of genres like Varnam, Tana Varnams, then Kirtanams. So there is a structural way of training in Carnatic music. But where in Sopana Sangeetam, there is not a written text or kind of particular structure that you have to learn. Basically, Sopana Sangeetam means those days every temple has a Sopanam. Sopanam means the step in front of the sanctorum. So there, when the puja is going on, the community called Marar, they stand there and with the kind of instrument called Edeka, they sing. So the Edeka is instrument which also tune for the Shruti as well as it keeps the rhythm. So they used to sing singing songs in front of, especially the bhakti songs, devotional songs.
The Ashtapadis.
Ashtapadi came later.
Okay.
So Ashtapadi mainly because it's about Krishna, because most of this practice happens in Krishna temples. So Ashtapadi is related to Krishna and Radha and all that. So they started singing all this more. This style is also adopted in Kathakali also, because I believe this is my, I would say it's my view. Yeah, my understanding that initially the training of Carnatic music may be little lax in the initial days, olden times, because Karnataka Sangeetam was mostly focused on this kind of belt as Chennai and all that, So those days in these villages and all that, there were no much trained Carnatic musicians, I believe. I mean, I'm talking about thousands of years back. So mostly the local singers, whatever ragam they know, whatever music they know, they practice that. And Sopana Sangeetam developed like that. And I would say a main difference in Sopana Sangeetam and Carnatic music, Sopana Sangeetam don't have so much gamakas like in Carnatic. If you say like in Carnatic music, if you say Sari Gama, this kind of gamakas not too much applied in Sopana Sangeetam. And it's generally sung in a straight notes, and I would say their focus is more on the lyrics, devotional lyrics, which praises to any god or any stories of the god. So generally every Sopana Sangeetam singer, they sing as per their whatever their capacity. So this is the way Sopana Sangeetam has developed. But later, I would say from last century probably, maybe little earlier, many Carnatic singers started having the practice of Carnatic basics. Now that which helped all these Sopana Sangeetam musicians also understanding about ragas, exchanging ragas. They'll adopted a lot of Carnatic ragas. Now today's generation even adopting a lot of North Indian ragas also. So when they sing for Kathakali, they sing a lot of North Indian ragas also. They try experiment.
And the raga names are also different in Carnatic and
yeah. That is probably, I think, the linguistic regional change, I believe, because in Kamboji, in Carnatic music, we in the script we in Sopana Sangeetam it's written as Kamodari. So these kind of changes are there. Then Yadugala Kamboji is written in the script Erikila Kamodari, you know.
I see, okay.
But they sing the same raga. So probably it could be like a regional linguistic change, probably.
Okay.
So there is no authentic records for Sopana Sangeetam, what it is originally and where it is. In our childhood, we used to listen to a lot of songs by one great Sopana Sangeetam singer called Nyeralat Ramapaduval.
Ramapaduval, yes.
I believe when we are doing a concert in a temple, I believe he's very humble and simple man. He just came, he took a shower in the temple pond and he came, brought the adaka and he played with the concert. I mean, nobody told him to play, or even we didn't know that he plays for such a child like our, you know, we were small boys for a small artist like. It is very simple. He came and he started playing and encouraging us. Those was the memories those days we had, like, you know.
Beautiful, yes.
So these are some basic changes between Sopana Sangeetam and Carnatic music.
And there are other members of your family who are also professionally into music?
Yeah. I told you my mother also sings, my father also sings. Then my brothers all, I have three brothers, all of them sings well. Especially my elder brother and youngest brother, they both are actively singing for Kathakali. Krishna Mohan and Ram Mohan. Okay. And another brother Narayan, he focusing more on acting Kathakali roles. He's good dancer also, Kathakali dancer.
So it is also interesting that Kathakali is the Kerala's art form, and you also sing for Bharatanatyam, which is another dance form from a different state or neighboring state. How was that transition?
Yeah, this basic work of singing for Kathakali helped me understanding more about dance, classical dance. And after I migrated to Bombay in 1986-87, I slowly came into singing for Bharatanatyam. I would say the credit goes to two people. One is Ananda Narayanan. He also was my father's disciple. And then another guru called Ramaswamy Bhagavatar. They were the key people who initiated me for singing for Bharatanatyam. Because we had been watching Kathakali and all that. We have no idea what Bharatanatyam and how it happens, because those days in the village it was not happening thing.
Not popular.
Bharatanatyam. And we had not seen the proper Bharatanatyam or pure Bharatanatyam those days. So this two Gurujis helped me to, you know, understanding about Bharatanatyam, how to sing. And always Ramaswamy Bhagavatar used to be like, you know, guide to me, I should say godfather to me, because he used to tell me, when you are singing a solo kacheri concert, you are the main singer, you do whatever you want. But when you are singing for a dance, people are coming to watch the dance, not you. So you go with the dance. You have to understand the dance. You have to understand the nuances of dance, what they are doing, whether it is nritta or whether abhinaya. So you have to create a style which suits that particular dance piece, or as a dancer, or what the abhinaya they are depicting, what story they are depicting. According to, you have to mold yourself the bhava of the music also. You cannot just sing like a kacheri.
Got it.
So she says that if you want to do a lot of briga and circus kacheri and all that, you do a solo kacheri. Don't do this on the stage. So this I tell my students also, and my friends who sings for dance also, I tell them. Even my co-artist, I don't say they are playback or background artists. I always address them like my co-artist, because everybody contribute. For a dance program, it is very important. How music is important equally, how singing is important equally, mridangam, even violin, flute, everything is equally important. Everybody has their own role. So even people who work with me, I tell them, whether sometimes there will be some artist never played for a dance program, some new artist comes. So I tell them, see, we are performing with the dance. So 50% dance, 50% music. So it's a teamwork. So there, if you play like a, your own individual game, it's like sports, then the whole match is spoiled, So you have to understand the dance, you have to follow singing also, you have to understand the dance also. When your solo piece comes, you play the way you want. But when you are accompanying a dance, you have to follow these simple rules.
That makes more sense to that usual phrase about Sangeetam. Geetam Vadyam Chandrittam is Sangeetam.
I remember when I met Chitravina Narasimhan sir. So we had a talk. He's great Vidwan. I mean, his knowledge is immense. The first dialogue he said is, Geetam Vadyam Trayam Sangeetam idu uchyate. So he said, when he asked me what I am doing, I said I am singing little for dance and all that. He says that is a great thing, because music actually evolved with dance originally. That sentence made me so important. So equally dance and music is so connected. You cannot separate it. So this kind of approach is successful for me, and when I sing for Bharatanatyam, I try to keep the best way of supporting the dance form and dancer. Why I say dance form? Because I sing for sometimes Kuchipudi also, Kuchipudi dance, sometimes for Mohiniyattam dance also, and seldom I accompanied Odissi dance also, even with Kelucharan ji, and even once I had to sing for a Manipuri also because the singer didn't turn up. So every dance style has its own way of singing and its way of
unique style.
So if you can understand that, then you can sing for any dance.
Okay, I think probably your Mumbai life has also helped being versatile about the different languages and.
Of course, Mumbai has a lot of unique style. It's like diversity in unity, called like that, because we have all culture, and Marathi is the Bhakti Sangeet evolved from Marathi culture. I would say their abhangs and their kirtankars. If you look at them, you see how selflessly they sing and how devoted they are, So that is one thing you can witness in Bombay and around Bombay. Same time we have people from Bengal, then Orissa, Manipur, even Madhya Pradesh. Like every place people are there. Then they have their own cultural crowd, their unique dance styles. So you get to watch them. You have a chance to work with them. Especially we does a lot of Jugalbandi programs. So you get to see different dancers, different dance styles. Yeah, it's definitely helped me to expand my horizon.
By any way, had you been influenced by Hindustani music as well?
Yeah, of course. Hindustani music I used to watch, I used to sing, I used to hear, and there is one funny thing happened. When I was new to Bombay, that time I didn't have money to go and attend big concerts to buy tickets. So once I happened to attend a concert of Pandit Jasraj in I will say the place Xavier's College. So I was desperate to hear him because I am a big fan of Pandit Jasraj. And when I reached there, the ticket was, those days I am talking long back, 10 rupees was the ticket, and I had only 5 rupees in my pocket. So of course that I don't have money to buy the ticket. You will not believe, I stood in front of the door, outside the door, and I heard whole concert. That much I was mad about his style and his music, his divine music.
Yeah, definitely that kind of passion alone can take you to the heights. And talking about all these different styles, I'm also curious to listen to if you can demonstrate the distinct styles a little bit. It'll be interesting.
Of Carnatic or Hindustani?
Yeah, Carnatic and Sopanam Sangeetam.
Okay, so I'll put a Shruti on my phone.
Okay.
Like you hear. So I'll take a common raga, maybe Kalyani.
Okay.
We call it Kalyani. So when we sing Kalyani ragam in Carnatic music, we generally start with Gamaka. It's very Gamaga oriented raga, very important raga in Carnatic music. Kind of, singing with a lot of gamagas. The same thing when you hear in Hindustani, they call it is Yaman. See the way of this, they call it is mean, then us, like we call it is gamaga, but their style of gamaga is different. And when the same thing, if you look at to Sopanam Sangeetam, in Sopanam Sangeetam they have kind of 2 octaves generally they sing. In between they don't do too much sancharam. So Kalyani, like more standing on the note, not just hurrying one note to other note. Then so there is no much gamaga. Dani dani sa. So this is very unique, different with each style. So if you understand this kind of nonsense of the music, it's easy to understand, differentiate also. So same ragam, you see how different in 3 styles.
It might be really difficult to maintain the same style if you are singing a particular type of song, unless you are very aware of the prayogams.
It's not difficult, you have to understand. It's like you are understanding your own baby, your own child. If you understand, it is easy to treat the best way. Similarly, if you treat like the music as your part of your heart or anything like then you take care of that. So if you have that understanding, that care, it's easy for you to understand any style, and approach will be easy for you. And you can take that rasa to the rasikas. Rasikas are because we give that rasa to the people, that is why they are rasikas. It's our dharma, it is our duty to make them happy with that rasa.
Thank you for sharing about your music. We would also like to introduce the audience about your musical journey, like the different countries it has taken you and your achievements, if you can share those details.
I have started my journey from my village, Sri Krishnapuram, Kerala. It's a very remote village those days, typical Kerala village. From there I migrated to Bombay, now Mumbai, and I would say those days I sung with many great stalwarts Gurujis, like for a person like me, newly introduced to this field, it is a challenging job because those days very senior Gurujis like Kadruvelu Pillai, his intricate rhythms and intricate compositions with lot of calculations. For a person, normal person, it is difficult to sing. It's not difficult, it's a challenging to sing with such people like Kadruvelu Master, then Nalini Raghuji, then Ramaswamy Bhagavathar. Of course, Rajarajeshwari was the biggest institution those days. Mahalingam Pillai sir, Kalyana Sundaram sir. Mahalingam Pillai sir guided me a lot of, because I was lacking knowledge of Tamil. For Bharatanatyam, you definitely need to know little bit of Tamil. At least basic words you should know, because otherwise the pronunciation will not come. So you have to care about the words. It shouldn't sound like Malayalam. When you sing Tamil, it should sound like Tamil.
Accent.
Yeah, and lot of Telugu compositions and all that. So these Gurujis really cared for me instead of ignoring. That was my biggest gift, biggest blessing of my parents, I should say. Because they could have told their students, no, he is not a good singer, he is not able to sing anything, they could comment. But other way, they used to appreciate my work and support me, used to encourage me. If I am not aware about something, whether some composition or something, I can approach them anytime, they will help me. So a lot of those days gurus like Dandaji Narayan Mami used to tell me, Mami generally never teach her compositions to any other person outside her school. But she used to invite me, please come and learn my compositions, Then of course Kala Sadan Mani sir. I knew to number, there is a lot of people, a lot of Gurujis and artists who I would have this greatness to these people. And I had a chance to work with Kelu Charan Mohapatra for he is one of the great Guru. Then Udashna Javeri Ben for the Manipuri. They all support me, encourage me, appreciate me, which is very rare to see those days. Because that hierarchy was there, big great people and newcomers, they never used to appreciate or especially ignore. But I am lucky enough to have support of all these people. They all supported me very well. So the journey was very smooth for me. Of course, challenging is there. Challenges are there when you get a new composition. And those days, no YouTube or Google or anything. So you have to work in your own. Whatever maybe they will sing and show once only, once or twice. Then you have to work on that. You have to really develop your style, your compositions, your work, and go for rehearsals. I used to go immense number of rehearsals, day and night. I used to see my bachelor mates maybe watching some movie, eating or going for a movie Saturday, Sunday and all that. But I used to be with these people, I may go for a rehearsal. If I am free, I'll go to listen some concert. That was my life, so which really rewarded me. What I am today is because of that hard work. I would advise all the artists to and one day you can eat the fruit. Then from Bombay, I traveled to Europe, many places I traveled. Then I got my award from Switzerland. First award, Carnatic Music Sangeeta Pravana, the institution called Nateshwara. Mrs. Vijay Rao and Anton Tons, they are the people who first awarded a great award to me. Then I got many recognition from many institutions. So, been a blessed artist, I would say. Europe, many time I travel, still I go. In USA also I travel a lot. Every year I come for the singing for Arangetrams and programs. 2017 I was part of the New York Jazz Company for performance in Newport Jazz Festival. So all these things are, biggest achievements throughout my journey. I could meet many big artists and collaborate with many artists. This was a great journey.
Very good. Are there any tips that you can share, like how to maintain your voice?
Yeah, that's a good point you mentioned. In Carnatic music, I would say, we practice more than what we require sometimes, and wrong practice. Especially the voice modulation and abuse your voice, you should understand your voice code very importantly, because voice code is not an outside equipment, it is in your body, so you have to care for that. So, and especially emotion is part of your body, emotion also affects your voice. For example, when I would say, like when you are angry, you will lose your voice. When you are crying, you will lose voice. No, so you have to have a good command over your emotion. You should be calm enough, and stress you should avoid. These things will lose your voice at an early age. So be calm, then practice. Understand your voice, then you practice. You don't need to even I used to think olden times I used to practice in a higher octave, and 2 days I practice and I lose my voice, then go to doctor and all that. I didn't know all that. Later I realized that you don't need to actually sing in a high octave and shout. Because nowadays the technologies also, they have mic and equipments, everything is there. So make it soft and sing the way you want. You don't need to actually, because olden times what happens, olden times in the concerts used to happen like 300, 400 people without mic. If you listen to the people who sings like, Madurai Somu and those days, those years.
Even Sopanam Sangeetam for that.
Yeah, even Sopanam Sangeetam, Kathakali artists, then you used to very high, because those days you have to reach the voice to the mass audience. So you require to sing in a high octave, whether you have that kind of voice texture or not, you have to sing. So the voice will not survive for a long time. So nowadays, see, there is in the Western music, they have soprano kind of, they understand what is the singer's pitch is, then accordingly they used to sing, they keep the pitch. So in Carnatic music or in our Indian music, sometimes we don't understand our voice texture. Some people has bass voice, some people has higher voice. So whatever your voice suits, keep that pitch and sing. And if you are too much practice, too much sung, then give a rest to your voice. Understand your voice, understand your health, then you practice. If you feel like your voice is too much strained, give rest. And another tip I would say, morning time if you are practice in the lower octave. Don't suddenly raise your voice, because voice could also resting in the night.
Warm up and.
So morning you warm up in the lower octave, then slowly go to the higher octave if you are able to. As the day progress, you take your higher octave notes. So some tips, and mainly all the upcoming singers, I would say, stick to your accurate notes. Swarasthana, it's very important. If you are able to locate your sa, maintain that. Don't besur mat gao, don't sing besur. So try to be with the pitch to the shruti, because our ears is another kind of indriyam, our 5 senses. So it's like if you don't like a taste, you don't eat, right? If you don't like to see something, you will not see. Similarly, your shruti also the same thing. If you are not singing in the shruti, if you are not singing in a proper note, then the other person will not be like to hear you. So make it accurate, and with the Shruti, sing with the Shruti, practice with the Shruti, make it accurate so the people will enjoy your music.
That's excellent. So you already gave some tips for the upcoming younger generation regarding the practice of music. I would also like to hear something that you can share to the parents who are sending their kids for learning music, and what is the importance of that in the life.
Okay, it's a good question, because music is something that we didn't create. It came to us from the great lineage, parampara. You know, you can imagine how the olden days, how the generations lineage, how they worked for creating and preserving these things. So they gave us with full trust that my student will sing, my student is good, like the lineage they came with full devotion they had given to us. So that our duty is to preserve and that give to the next generation who is going to come. So for that we need a proper training from some teachers, we call it as gurus. So any Indian classical art form, like whether it is dance, whether it is music, you definitely have to go to some Guruji, give Guru Dakshina, because they have given their life to this music. So it is your duty to value them. Give whatever their Dakshina, I would say Dakshina, because many people wanted to learn freely from YouTube and all that. It will not succeed. Classical, you may be able to sing some film songs and non-classical things you will be able to pick up, because there is no creativity in that. Whatever you are hearing, you are singing that. But for classical music and dance, you have your own improvisation, your creativity. To develop that, you have to get a guidance from a teacher, a guru. So I would suggest parents who wanted their children to learn, whether it is dance or music, give them enough time and please support them, encourage them to learn. I would say if they can spend 8 hours, 9 hours for their studies in the schools, why don't they spend an hour in a day for music or dance?
Exactly.
And of course it is going to develop your intellectual and your brain, and you are disciplined. It is, especially I had seen like classical dance students are very disciplined. They do their things on time. They are good in studies. This kind of discipline they developed over a period. They are trained. The training is given by guru to learn, step by step how to, this much you have to dance. This is the way you have to do. They are trained. So they slowly they apply that in their life also. You can see the difference. Same thing in music also. Indian classical music, you get a proper training from a guru. You are able to understand the ragas, and also we need to create a good listeners. So for that, this kind of knowledge is very essential. When somebody is singing, you need a good audience. So this kind of training helps them to understand what the other person is singing and how you can enjoy the music. So I request all the parents, whether it is Indian or non-Indian, doesn't matter. Let them learn some Indian classical dance or music. It is definitely going to help you, and there is nothing going to lose in that. So please support your child to learn any art form. At least one art form they should learn in their life.
So it was very nice, excellent talking to you, and thank you for sharing your wisdom and knowledge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.